Australia. I like saying that because I don't find many YouTubers from Australia, though I have found a few now, which is really good. Working on our chicken journal. We should just about finish it today. I just will show you, I just did a couple of little bits for the front here. This journal card was already in here, but I've just sewn around it with some red and added a little fabric tab to the top. And I've dug out another journal card from my stash, which is decorated with stencils and a couple of words and a little washi tape sticker. So I've used a piece of cardboard to make a tab on this one and then just sewn it on. And so those two will sit in the front there. The little tabs, I thought it just makes it easier to pull them out of the little pocket. And so we're working on our last signature now. I want to cover up these pages. So I found this picture which is torn out of the same magazine that I've used for other pages in this book. So this one I'm just going to stick straight on. I'm not going to make it into a pocket. Some of them I've made into pockets, but this one I'm just going to stick straight on. My desk is a right mess at the moment, but I really need to get this video done, so I'm just running with it. And that's about the right length, yes. And then we're going to tear it pretty much at the bottom of that picture for it to fit on the page. So it'll strengthen the page, add a nice picture, and there's still space here to do some journaling if you wish. So I'm literally just going to glue that on. And I need to trim a little bit more off, so we'll trim a bit off the other edge. If I only want to trim off a little piece, it's easier if you, to me anyway, do it this way. I only want to trim a little bit off. So I put the ruler across the page and hold that nice and tight, and then just tear it slowly. You always lift it up and across. And there we go, torn off a little sliver. So that should fit on my page now. Yep, beautiful. There we go. So what I will do when I'm doing a big page like that, I'm not really a fan of glue sticks, and I don't have my glue stick here. So hold on, I'm just going to stop and start. Back again, found my glue stick. This is a Study Mate which I picked up from Officeworks. I'm trying a few different glue sticks to see if any are any better than any others, and so far I don't mind this one, but I don't trust them to hold forever. So what I'll do is use the glue stick in the middle, because you can cover a big area quite quickly and rather inexpensively. So I'll just glue all the middle of the page. I think part of the issue with the glue sticks here is they dry really quick. So they're almost dry before you put them on the page. And then I'll get my PVA glue, run it around the edge. You can use double-sided tape if you want to. You can use whatever glue you want to. Any which way that's going to stick and hopefully stay in the page. Just going to line this up on the inside edge, up the top there. Start from there and squish my way outwards so it's nice and flat. I've got all sorts of bits and pieces in this book, so I'm going to grab my little board, which I've now laminated. I don't think it was laminated last time, so sorry if you're getting glare off of that. It's just a piece of heavy card covered in some scrapbook paper and a stamp, and then I laminated that. It gives you a nice strong surface, so you can use that as a card to put behind where you need to journal, so your writing will be writing on flat board instead of writing on all the crookedness that we add to our junk journals to make them look cool. So there we go, that's nicely stuck in there. Yep, beautiful. Cool. So this board I'm going to put in here with a belly band. So I'm putting a belly band on this page there, which I need to decorate with these bits of clusters. Little cluster, just a couple of bits of paper with some stamping on it. That's all that is. This is a stamped word, and that's from Tim Holtz's, one of Tim Holtz's stamp packs. Just going to ink around this edge, make it look a little bit older, and I've stamped it on some coffee dyed paper so it looks a bit older. And a piece of material, I do a lot of sewing. I do quilting and made some clothes and done numerous things with fabric over the years, so I have lots of stashes of bits of fabric. So, and you can often find them in secondhand stores, and the glue I'm using in this one is a fabric glue. A standard PVA glue would probably do the same trick. Just when I'm using fabric, I tend to mostly use the fabric glue, but you don't have to. You don't have to always use it. It's especially good if you want to use it on some flexible pages, because I think the fabric glue helps keep it flexible and not so stiff, and it also it's nice and permanent. So I'm putting that one there, and one of the kind of design elements when you're doing anything, when you're doing art, when you're doing photography, whether you're doing making quilts, pretty much anything, one rule, and you don't have to follow rules, you can do whatever you want, but one of the rules is to do things in odd numbers. Our eyes seem to like odd numbers, so having 3 things, so we've got 1, 2, 3 things on the page is artistically apparently a great thing to do. Lost my little sponge dauber. Really have to clean up my desk. Grab another one. It's okay, ink this edge, make it look a bit older. It also makes it look a bit older, but also helps the whatever you got to contrast from what you're sticking it on, and makes it stand out a bit better. And contrast is always a good thing in artistic works as well. So if you make your focal point contrast from the background, then it will pop out more. So I'll stick that one up there. I've got 1, 2, 3 things on my little piece of card, and they're also stuck these on different sides, so it gives you like a diagonal sort of look. Diagonals are another thing for artisticness for being artistic. So I'm just going to glue this on here, and then this can just slip in and out of here as a belly band. So I'm only gluing it on the top and the bottom. And what I will do with this one is use some double-sided tape to hold it in place, because the glue will take a little while to dry, and I want to make sure this is a nice strong bond. So I'll put a couple of bits of tape on top and bottom to make it nice and strong. And tape plus glue should mean that it'll stick and stay where I put it. And I have no fingernails, so sometimes, probably off camera here too, sorry about that. You don't have fingernails, you can use a pointy tool. This is an awl, but you can get other pointy tools, and just stick it in under. There you go. Makes the tape easy to get up off the page. And put some glue on. I'm putting a nice wide piece of glue, top and bottom. Give it plenty of area so it glues nice and strong. And I'm just going to use my finger and push this out to the edges. But what it also does is help make sure I don't get a bunch of glue smearing out from underneath the page. And just wipe my finger on my little rag that I have there. Make sure it's the right way up, roughly in the middle of the page. There we go. Stick that top and bottom. And I always like to turn the page over and push it from the back. So push that nice and hard. Make sure that sticks down there. And the same with the bottom. Because you haven't got the glue on that side. Whoops, my board went flying. And just make sure that I haven't got any glue peeling out from there. Nope, no glue there. I won't put this board in there yet because I want to let that glue dry so it's nice and strong, but you can see that easily fits in there, but I won't leave that in there. Just sit that in the back. No, I'll just toss it out for the time being. So that's that one done, and I have gathered a few bits and pieces here that I want to put in the book to add a bit of interest to this page. Yeah, we got a bit of a blank spot here. I love this quote, and this is a Tim Holtz stamp. Our heart captures photos of your life. So it's a little story about keeping your photos and memories alive, something along those lines. So I'm just going to glue that one onto here. Glue on the page there. Rub that off. We'll smear this again because I've put a fair bit of glue on there. I don't want it to pop out everywhere, especially when I'm working on it and turning pages all at the same time. My little board, which comes in very handy, not only for journaling, give you a nice hard piece to, so you can press your pieces down and make sure they're glued nice and strong. That works really well. I think I'm going to make one of those for all of my journals, especially the bigger ones, not so much the smaller ones. This piece of card has a piece of scrapbook paper edge on it, and I just think that's really pretty. We've already got a stamp on there, so we might add that onto this side of the page. And I'm going to trim it so there's a little border around the page. And so I'll just get my pencil and mark where I need to cut it. Because it's only a very small width, I'll do that with my scissors. If I'm doing a longer cut, I like to use a ruler and a knife so that it doesn't, so it's nice and straight. Can't always cut straight when you're using just scissors. So again, I'm going to put a piece of tape on here to help hold it in place until the glue sets. A little extra piece there. And what's nice and snowy and cold on the other side of the world. We're hot here today, really hot for us, 33 degrees Celsius, which, sorry, I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. It's not a super hot day, but it's pretty hot for us, about as hot as we generally get here. And it's been really quite humid as well because of storms hanging around the last few days. But hopefully, although they have said we might get more storms this weekend, so we'll see what happens there. Luckily, I haven't had to deal with much damage. Just had some leaking windows when the wind was blowing the rain pretty much horizontal straight into the windows. They overflowed and leaked in the house, so I had to do a bit of mopping up. That's all right. It didn't do much damage. Didn't do any real damage. So that was good. Just a bit of a pain in the butt, and to stop and mop everything up, and the wet carpet was wet, so run the fan on that for a while. I have this little border piece that I've made as well, which is just a stamp of little chickens, which goes perfectly with the chicken album, of course. So I'm just finding somewhere to stick this one because I think it's really cute, and I think it looks really nice against the brown. So I'm going to put it on here. Trim it to size, and I've inked around the edge, so I need to ink this bottom edge to make it look the same. There we go. And that's only a fairly light card, so I'm just going to glue it. Shouldn't need the extra tape on this one. This is really pretty, really cute. And smush it again. Even this PVA glue is drying really fast at the moment, so I have to work quickly. Otherwise, and glue dries before you even get it on the paper. I do have my aircon on, but my little craft room is around the corner from the air conditioning, so it doesn't get super cool in here. So I'll try and get this done in the morning before it gets too hot. There we go. Nice little decoration on that page. And this is the last signature I'm working on, so I'm just going to flick through here, see if there's anything else I want to add. Oh yes, that's right. We've got another back of a piece of paper here that's been printed on, and not really fussed with how that looks. So I've got an old envelope here, and I'm just going to put this on here. I'm going to tidy it up, so I want it to go to here. So I'll trim that down to size, and I'll just use my lines on my mat to trim this straight. Find my knife, craft knife. I have various selection of craft knives, usually all over the place, so I can find one wherever I am. Now, the top of this is a bit messy, and now we have this open side. So what I'm going to do is trim the top of this off to make this side nice and straight. And this is the right side for this to sit on. I'm going to cover most of that printed stuff. I'm going to leave this as a pocket then. But what I want to do is cover it with material. So I have some material here, more material that I have left over. I have this one, which I think is really pretty, and this one as well. So I'm going to run this one down here, and I'm going to cover up the hole. I don't really want that showing at the moment. And I think I actually might leave the edge there, because that shows you it's a pocket and you can get into here quite easily. So I might leave that ledge there. But what I'll do is I will ink it. We'll ink the edge, and you don't have to ink. I do like inking. I don't always do it. Depends what mood I'm in. So I'm going to ink this edge and ink this all the way around. That way I don't have to stick the fabric right to the edge, because it can have that bit of ink here. Now, this is a fairly see-through material, so I'm thinking those numbers will show through a bit, and the pocket. Oh, but that's okay. Don't actually mind. I don't want that one showing through either. That's why I'm going to put this material here, because it's a lot darker. Just put a snip in it. Tear it, hopefully. Getting weak in my old age. Sucky. So there we go. We'll stick that one on there. I'll get my fabric glue for that one. And I'm going to put it on the paper. It's about that wide. I'll do the fabric glue right around the edge where the paper's going to be. Where the piece of fabric's going to be. I'll put this glue right around the edge. Then I'll just use the stick glue in the middle to help hold it, and it just a bit cheaper. But it sticks pretty much straight away to your stick glue, and you don't have as much glue coming through the material either. So we'll stick that on nice and strong. And I'm liking the rough edge. I don't want a nice tidy edge. I want the rough edge there. Then we work out how much we needed this one, which might be able to go this way. Yes, can go this way. So we just little snip where we want to tear it. Tear it there. That gives you that really nice rough edge. And I'm going to just pull some threads out from the side here if I can to rough up this edge a bit. Not so easy. My fingers don't want to get in there, so you can just use the awl and poke it in and pull some of those threads out to roughen up that edge a little bit. Just run your fingernail along there. And I want the other edge roughed up a bit too. Try and pull some threads out. There we go. That's got them. But what I want to do is, because of that piece hanging down, I need to cut a bit of a triangle piece off here. I'm just going to roughly do it. There we go. And if your scissors don't cut fabric, fabric can be a bit fussy to cut with scissors. You really need a good pair of scissors or a pair of sewing scissors. Because this is on the angle, I won't be able to pull out lots of threads because you'll only get like the ends of them because the threads run horizontally and vertically. So I'll just scruff it up and then chop any long bits off that I don't want. So just scruff it up a bit. It looks a bit rougher. Then you get some longer threads, and if you don't want them that long, just trim them off. And there we go. Perfect. Perfect. Now I'm going to do the fabric glue first because it doesn't dry as fast, and I'm going to bring it in a little bit. I don't want it right up to the edge, so we still end up with that bit of a rough edge. I'll go right up to the edge of this other fabric because I don't want a gap in the middle there. That's the fabric glue, and then a glue stick in the middle. This helps stick it down more. No idea if that sticks to the plastic, but it won't matter because we've got the strong glue around the outside. And we'll stick our piece of material on here. Make sure it's down the bottom, and then pull it. Hold that there. And stick that down there. And some of that black writing's showing through, but I don't mind that really. And then I'm sure you're all saying, quick, you got to glue up the side. Yes, we've got to glue up the side. Put the glue on the shorter side so we don't have glue where we don't want it. So just going to smoosh that a little bit. Put that on that side. Push that down and put a piece of scrap paper under here because I think the glue is going to come out of there. Yep, it does. There we go. Smoosh that down. Now we've got a pocket here. Oh, that piece needs gluing down. It's come open. Just tuck a little bit of glue in there. Glue that down. And if you want to, put a piece of paper in here. If you don't want to look at the inside the envelope, you can glue something in there, but I don't actually mind that, so I'm going to leave it. But I'm just going to trim this piece off a little bit, make it look a bit neater. There we go. Lovely pocket. Put that onto our junk journal. And I will do the tape on here as well as the glue, so it'll hold it in place. Now, where did I throw my tape? That's right, I use this tape. It's just a double-sided tape. Put that out to the edges. Especially want it on the sides because that's where you get the most like stress on the paper. And a piece across the top and a piece across the bottom. doesn't need to go all the way. It's really just holding it in place until the glue takes hold. And peel that up. Did you all get some good presents for Chrissy? We've actually pretty much stopped giving presents to all the adults. Most people have what they need, so we just do presents for the grandkids now, which makes it easy. And I like to give, if I want to give people something, if I find something that I'd like to give to someone, I'll just do it throughout the year. So yeah, we don't spend a lot of money on Christmas presents that people may or may not want. And we just give something to the grandkids, and I usually give them something handmade. My grandkids all got a junk journal this year. Not that the grandkids will actually appreciate the journal, it's more for the parents to have and to use and to write little stories about the kids in the journal. So when they're 18, they can gift it to the kids, and it'll have all little stories about all the funny things they've done while they were growing up. So I'll stick that one in there. Get my board. Board behind here, so I can glue that down. There we go. Push it down on this side. Make sure the edges are down nicely. That's mostly what you want to stick. There we go. We've got another little pocket. So I'm going to put this little journal card in there, which is a piece of scrap paper. That can sit in there for now. Yep. There we go. Radio, back again. Gee, that time goes fast. Video turned off again at the 25-minute mark, which it loves to do. So I'm guessing that's the limit of the videos on my phone. So I'm just going to show you that this was finished. So the pocket and the journal card in it. And you can add heaps more in there. That's a really big pocket. I'm not at the moment, but I might later. Then I stuck this piece on here, and I stuck the edges of this brown paper down. So there's a little pocket in there. So we can put a little whatsy-doovie in there. So I have this little piece I've made up out of a book page, and I've put some gesso, white gesso on it with a bit of pink tinge to it. Done some stamping on it. This is a cut out circle with some stamping on it. It's just a little envelope. Added some decoration on there with bits and pieces of scrapbooking paper and stamped papers. And in here is a little piece of maths grid paper, that's what you call it. And if I can get my fingers to work, opens up. So it's just a little piece of journaling. You can hide in your little envelope, and it just holds this circle. It's not glued down on the top half there, so it just holds that shut, and you can just flick it open, and then if you just bend it back and let it go, it holds it down, holds it shut. Just going to tuck that up in here. My little piece. Make sure my little piece doesn't come off. Oh, we might tuck it this way. Might work better. There we go. Tuck it that way. It's tucked in there. And at the back here, this back pocket, I found a couple of journaling cards. This one's just some paper glued together, and then I've literally just drawn on some journaling lines and put a little bit of stamping around. Put a little piece of strip of material on the end to use to get it in and out. And I've got these two here, which are collaged bits of paper. So it's just all my scraps stuck onto some plain paper. And I thought I'd show you how I do my little journaling lines. Not that it's hard. It's as easy as ABC. And I normally use a dark pen, which I don't have one right there, so I'm just going to find one. Hang on a second. We can use this one. Pretty sure this writes okay. Yep. So any fine pen will do dandy. I'm just going to move that so I've got a nice flat surface to work on. I just do a little circle, draw a line, circle, circle, line, circle, and literally just do these in any sort of way that you like. They don't have to go the full length. I like to have different ones because it just adds a bit of interest. And it doesn't stop where you actually do your journaling. Your journaling doesn't have to go like from there to there and there to there. You can actually keep journaling all the way across the card, but it gives you a bit of a guideline of where to do some journaling, and so you're not staring at a blank page as well. You've got a bit of interest. It's better. So you want to start journaling, sort of, you've got lines to follow. And if you write small, you can do 2 lines between each one of these lines quite easily. But it's better than looking at a blank page and going, ooh, what do I do with that? So we just add these lines on. You don't have to do the little spots at the sides. I just like the little spots. Literally just colour a spot, draw a line, make another spot. You can make the lines wiggly if you want to. Sometimes I've done wiggly lines as well. I'm going to keep them straight here because the rest of them are straight. I think if you do wiggly lines, you should do them all a bit wiggly. So there we go. That's those finished. And I might just put a couple of little butterfly stamps. I'll use this pad. This is the Temu pad, which is, I don't know if I've got that on. Yes, I have got it on camera now. This is the Temu pad that I bought. And it's just not as good as the brand name stamp pads that you get, but it's good enough to put a little image on. And my butterfly's gone. Must have flown away. Must have flown away. Just put one in each corner. Just adds a little bit of interest and prettiness to the page without going overboard. Might actually, oh, that stamp's pretty old and it's falling apart. So I'm going to toss that one. Yeah, it's all sticky. Yeah, it's all right. Did the job for that. So I add these to my back pocket. And I think that is the chicken journal finished. So I'll do a separate video where I'll just go through the whole journal. But for now, that's our chicken journal finished. And I think this is part 7. So there's 7 videos of putting this together, and then I'll do one that's just a run through of it and get that up shortly. So have a wonderful day. Have a happy new year. I'll catch you in the next video. See ya.